Your Eminence, Your Excellency Nuncio to Austria, Your Eminence, dear Rector, dear Dean, dear Father Uri, dear administration, faculty, and staff, dear students, friends, and family members, and last but not least, dear graduates. There are two well-known aspects of the academic life which characterize and inform a typical ITI student. Firstly, to read the primary sources, which in the last 2 years of the graduate program can be summed up in one author, Thomas Aquinas. And secondly, the method to make deductive arguments from the pre-mentioned source and express your limited understanding in semi-intelligent words, which are preferably directed at your other classmates. This method is also known as the seminar method. Now, these two aspects are not only confined to the classroom, but can be found throughout the whole life of each student. Therefore, this address is a fruit of both, even though the order got a little bit confused. Instead of first reading the Angelic Doctor and then discussing the text, my fellow classmates, graduates, and even some alumni gathered, discussed, and composed a Summa article which bears the following question: whether ITI graduates are destined to fail. Objection 1. It seems that ITI graduates are destined to fail, for being successful includes being on time. I've heard that somewhere. Now, ITI students were trained to respect ITI time, which for all the guests is a time difference to reality by approximately at least 30 minutes. Therefore, ITI graduates are destined to fail. Objection 2. Further, being successful, according to Aristotle, means acting in accord with your nature. Now, man is a rational animal, but according to a great modern Dominican scholar, ITI students are animal, only sometimes rational. Therefore, ITI graduates are destined to fail. Sed contra, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. I answer, dear, these objections are valid, but they also presuppose only one definition of failure. And as Newman says, if there's a disagreement, then it is either on the level of first principles or on the level of definition, insofar the same term was understood differently. Therefore, before beginning a discussion, always clarify your terms. Side note, doing this saves you hours of your life. Now, failure can be looked at from 3 perspectives, and all 3 of them occur at some point in each human life. Firstly, failure in the eyes of the world. This is the most obvious one, and therefore I won't bother to expound on it any longer, especially since we all just want to go and have lunch. But be honest, if any of us wanted to become rich and/or be esteemed by the members of the world, we wouldn't have chosen to study theology in the first place. The second failure is probably that one which we fear the most, even if we would not like to admit it. To fail in the eyes of fellow believers, and most of all, to fail in our own eyes. This kind of failure consists in not actualizing what we were trained and formed for, not becoming that particular academic we wish to be, not being able to evangelize and lead people to Christ as we hoped, not being able to be that politician who stands up for the truth, and maybe not even knowing in which particular way to pour out all the gifts and graces we received these last years of studying, living, and praying at the castle in this unknown town of Austria, Trumau. And to fear failure in this second way is not a bad thing in general, for we chose this school for a reason, or even if we didn't, we were trained and equipped in several ways to bring Christ to those who seek him. It is like a power in us, and as we all know from philosophy, a power seeks to be actualized. And therefore, it is also our responsibility to look for and create opportunities in which, according to our state of life, according to our talents, and most of all, according to the will of God, all the graces and gifts we have received may bear fruit. But sometimes this seems impossible. There will be circumstances in our life which cannot be changed. Circumstances which keep us from doing what we thought we were supposed to do. We might sincerely try everything in our power, but things don't work out the way we hoped and prayed, or they just don't work out at all. Or perhaps our situation is such that we are not even able to try anything, as in the case of sickness. Either way, this does not necessitate that we failed in the third and most fundamental way, which is to fail to do the will of God. In this way, an ITI graduate must not fail. For as long as we are totally receptive to God's love and seeking to do His will, which is nothing else than to strive to share in a deeper way in His divine love, no one has failed. On the contrary, failing in the first or the second way might be the means specifically chosen by God by which we participate in His life more fully, even if it will remain hidden to our eyes till the end of time. Moreover, by this we are reminded that we are first and foremost loved by Him, and only in the total receptivity to His love are we made capable to give our fiat. Only by being first loved by Him, we can love with His love. And only then can the first or the second way even properly be regarded as a success. For it does not matter what we do. If it does not flow from the love of Christ, it will not bear fruit. On the other hand, everything, independent from any circumstance or situation, even the smallest acts which are regarded as failures in the eyes of the world, if done with love, will be fruitful. Not necessarily successful, but fruitful. Therefore, dear graduates, don't worry. Even if we seemingly fail, as our beloved Dr. Dani Kiergaard always said, nothing hinders the Father to beget the Son. But do not be afraid. Open wide the doors for Christ. This is sufficient reply to the objections.